everybody, and thanks for tuning in. Alongside with me today, I've got Jan from New York City.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, just a little chit chat between the two of us. What we're going to do is primarily talk about the 4th of July for the most part.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th. Yeah. You know,
Steve, the
well,
weirdest thing just happened. Oops, you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
no, what I was about to say is I know a lot of people on the 4th like the hot dogs and all the the good stuff people usually do on the 4th. Well, I really don't have anybody to go to have a barbecue. It's just me right now, and I thought to myself, well, I'll just create my own little 4th of July. I got me some my Hebrew national hot dogs, my hot dog buns, my chili, and I
Yum.
just created my own little concoction. So, you know, actually, it's funny though. I might as well just go ahead because I normally don't have hot dogs all that often. So today is a little bit of a treat. So what I'm going to do is I ate half of what I made for lunch, and then for dinner or later on, I'll eat the remaining half. So
Sounds
that,
good.
yeah.
Steve, the weirdest thing just happened on this actual day. And
Hmm.
we are recording this on actual July 4th of 2023. Oh my gosh, I get hyped every year to watch because you mentioned hot dogs. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Surf and Stillwell Avenue in Coney Island, and that's a place where everybody like runs and jumps to every single year to view the hot dog eating contest. And I wanted to see, as usual, Joey Chestnut win, but guess what? There was really weird weather. I had even tried on my community page earlier. I had sent over a video of a gentleman by the name of Dutch Maz. He has a wonderful channel, and he brings you live to Coney Island for events. So I says, you know what? This is a great opportunity for the folks to get to watch the hot dog eating contest live, right? So, okay, so I put it on, and I myself, Steve, I wanted to see it myself. I look forward to it every single year myself. Do I necessarily get to go over to Stillwell and surf every year? No. When I was younger, I got there all the time. Not this year, not the last couple of years, but that's okay. I still get to see it. Hopefully. Guess what, Steve? Out of nowhere, the weather turned absolutely crazy. It
Mm.
was raining cats and dogs. It was lightning. And Dutch Mask kept saying throughout the thing, don't worry, it's not getting called. It's not getting called. Then there was like I don't know, thunder, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, no, I really want to see this. Then they said that the NYPD called off the contest. Now, I don't know if they're going to resume it again later. Maybe they just put it on temporary pause for a couple of hours. Because think of all the effort, Steve, putting the stands together, getting the contestants ready. And there is a protocol for this. And it takes many, many weeks and months that lead up to this, special contest. So it is my hope, as of this recording, that they resume that hot dog eating contest. And if so, if I get any wind of that, I will try to attach it on my community tab later. That was the weirdest thing. Here's the weird part. Okay, let's just say if I'm 20 minutes to a half hour away from that location, bright and sunny, gorge, gorge.
Hmm.
Looking at this thing on the video, rain, cats, dogs. I cannot believe what I was looking at. I'm like, is this really happening? And then when they called it off, I don't think I ever remember them calling off that contest, Steve.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, Mother Nature, the weather, very unpredictable. You just don't know from 1 minute to the next. Well, you and I, by automobile, we're about 14 and a half, 15 hours apart.
Right.
Um, I've got overcast outside, so I don't know
Hmm.
if it's, a system that's coming through that, but here's the funny thing about Florida. I don't know so much about New York. It can rain here for about an hour, hour and a half,
Hmm.
and then the next thing you know, all the clouds will clear away, sunny blue skies will pop out like as if nothing ever happened. So I'll keep my fingers crossed and hope that that's what happens, at the hot dog
Oh,
eating.
thank you, Steve. I hope so too. There were like thousands and thousands of people waiting around for this thing to happen. So again, hopefully, it resumed. Maybe it's resuming even as you and I speak. I wouldn't know, but I'll check it out. And if so, if it did resume, I will post that video. With the help of goodness, post the video, and you guys could, still get to see it.
Mhm.
Steve, we have some little chit chat trivia about the American flag and about this specific day. You had thrown me a question, and it threw me for a loop on this question. So, do you mind if I throw this question out to the audience, or do you want to throw the question out to
No,
the audience?
you can mention it because the one, if it's the one that I think it is, because I had brought up
Yeah.
actually a couple. I think one of the ones come to find any type of history.
Mhm.
'Cause when we were talking about it earlier, I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel like I stepped back in time almost 40 years, when I was in elementary school having to study all of this stuff. And one of the questions really took me by surprise. It may be one of the ones that, that you may ask that
Well,
I told you.
what happened, guys and gals listening? Steve and I we were just hanging out, like literally just hanging out, and we ate our hot dogs at home. We celebrated at home. We just like talking, hanging out, and then we just like got into this, like trivial question mode, whatever. And one of the questions that kind of sort of like actually Steve brought it up initially was about the adaptation of the Declaration of Independence. And I know this sounds like a really ridiculous question, but the adaptation of the Declaration of Independence, true or false, did that occur on July 4th, 1776? True or false? So that's a question we'll come back to. So try to make a note of that. And then the second question, we're only going to work with like a couple questions today. We didn't even know we were going to pop in today. We just decided to get spontaneous and pop in and do a show. But the second question, Steve, is this the one, Steve, that had you thinking a little bit of when we were growing up with history? Was it about the composer of the Star Spangled Banner?
That was one of them, and the one you just got through mentioning. The one that,
Oh, okay. Okay. All
yeah,
right. So let's take our little bit of history memories back. Who composed the Star Spangled Banner? And let's throw in one more. And this one is I'm sure almost everyone listening should get this one. Who created the first American flag? This last one, I think almost everyone is going to get. So yeah.
you may want to repeat your last because as you said it, it cut out on me.
Yeah, your audio's been cutting out too. And I want to leave a little note to StreamYard. StreamYard, if you're listening, please correct this problem. We pay for you. We expect to have good audio. Thank you. All right, just saying, we want the folks to hear us. All right. So the last question was, and it is my assumption that almost everyone listening is going to know this.
Okay.
Who created the first American flag? I'm not going to give you any multiple choice. They're going to have to answer that one on their own, which I think they'll get in like 2 seconds.
No, I know who it is, and they should too, because this person, without going into too much depth, is a very well-known person. This is not really, because if you go back and revert back to your history, it'll be a snap. And
Would you like to answer that one, Steve?
Sure. From what I recall, and I don't think I'm wrong on this one, Betsy Ross.
Amen to that.
Okay.
Betsy Ross. Yes, she did. And Steve, there were 13 red and white. There are 13 red and white stripes on a flag. Why? This is a separate question, everyone. Why are there, and Steve, maybe you know this. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Why are there 13? What do those stripes represent, red and white, on the American flag, the 13 stripes?
It has to do with the colonies.
That's correct, Steve. Excellent. the 13 colonies. That wasn't even an official question from us that we were going to ask. Good
Yeah.
job, Steve. Excellent. Now this is also not an official question. On Betsy Ross flag, okay, what looked differently about the stripe? I mean, not the stripe, excuse me, about the stars.
Mhm.
Steve, do you know offhand what looked differently about the stars on the Betsy Ross flag? Do you remember that offhand?
Well, if I remember correctly, well, in the case of the flag, like what we have now, which is like the background for for where we are now, it's all going across. But if you revert back to the Betsy Ross time of the flag, the stars are like in a circle type.
Perfect. That's right. That's exactly right. And this wasn't even going to be an official question. That's wonderful, Steve. Excellent memory. They're in formation of a circle. If I am not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I believe there are 5 pointed stars. Five, I believe, the original in the circular pattern of the original American
I
flag.
think
Now,
so. Yeah.
yeah, let's get back to that question about when did the Continental Congress adopt the Declaration of Independence? Well, okay, it's kind of like a two-part thing. The Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence today on this date, July 4th, 1776. However, here's the part two. However, it was engrossed on parchment on August 2nd, 1776.
That threw me by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Because
But
here I am thinking
yeah.
all along, the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, because that's what I remember from school days, July 4, not August 2. So, but I mean, nothing really surprises me, but that's good to know. I mean, that it taught you and I a little something. But again,
Yes.
I knew it from. So here I am, almost 50 years of my life thinking it's July 4th, but we find out, a little different.
Exactly.
We were partially right. We weren't completely wrong. But
We were partially right, and I think everyone that tried, no matter what, if you tried tried to answer the question, that's a great job. See, this was fun. We didn't expect to do a show today, but I'm glad I had an opportunity to be able to be on your channel today.
yeah, I come back here. There is one other question. There was one that I don't think we got answered, was the one about the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm so sorry. I felt like there was something missing. Like when you feel like there's something missing, you can't put your finger on. Thanks a lot, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I am cheating slightly, but I mean, not from the answer that I originally knew from all along. I knew the person that originally wrote it is Francis Scott Key,
Yes.
but I learned a little something else. I don't know where this comes into play. The composer was a man named John Stafford Smith.
And you hardly ever hear about John Stafford Smith.
No, you don't. So
It was really a beautiful tune, put together so lovely, and it's great to be here. It's great to be an American, and in the land of the free because of the brave. And I'm glad that we get to acknowledge this every single year. And also a shout out to friends in Canada that recently had their day recently, and shout out. There you go. Well, hope everybody's having fun out there, whether you're doing a barbecue, we're waiting for the hopefully hot dog eating contest to resume or whatever. It's always fun to share a holiday trivial moment with you guys. Steve, thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. You're more than welcome. This was fun. I didn't really want to leave 4th of July. Just,
Yeah,
I
I agree.
I figured we put, I didn't, I was originally, I was kind of going to do something on my own, but then we had, put our heads together earlier, and I'm glad that we did, but I do think, everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody has a wonderful, safe 4th of July.
Yeah, stay
Definitely
safe tonight with the fireworks and all this and all that. Watch the beautiful displays. Be very careful. Be a good watcher of the displays.
that's right. All right, everybody. Again, be out on the lookout for us. This coming weekend, we'll be back, and
Yeah.
well, I hope all of you have a safe 4th of July, as mentioned, and we'll see you back here next time.
Take care, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.